Welcome into Fantasy AI. Moving on. All right, welcome back to the computer room. We're going to look at some fantasy impact news. Like that game, Houston versus the Bears. Still high off my football fix. All right, some real football. So, going to look at that and some of the depth changes, practice news coming out of the football camps, get caught up to maybe some possible depth changes. But first, let's talk about that Bears game versus Houston. Do we have a new star born last night? Colin Johnson? 30 career receptions before last night. It looked good. Everything was going good for him. Boy, 6'6". They just kept throwing it to him on the end. They couldn't stop it. But hey, he's so deep that you don't even know, probably won't ever see him. But next up was the Bears. The running game looked good for the Bears. In fact, both running games looked good. I had to look. I thought neither could play defense. And it didn't look like the defenses showed up, but hey, second string, beginning of the year. But the offense, the running was just going great. Roshan looked good. You know, I thought, hey, just go ahead and he came in first, I thought I'd just trade Herbert. Clear that up. Have Roshan, he's on his second year of his 4-year rookie deal. That's going to look great. You got him long term. Trade Herbert, get some draft capital, and Herbert came in and looked good. All right? So what's that do? It further muddies the trio there at the Bears, right? So Swift didn't play, but the other two did, and they look good. I think they should trade Herbert, but hey, I'm not the general manager of their team. I'm a general manager of my fantasy team, right? How about Davis Mills here? He looked good. I mean, hey, you know, if you do get one of those Houston receivers, maybe they won't drop off as far if something happened to CJ Stroud, but hey, I thought he looked sharp. I thought the Houston offense looked sharp. It almost looked like they were scripting some plays. Instead, you know, preseason just run generic stuff, not to tip off other teams. Xavier Hutchinson, receiver for Houston, looked good deep. These are all deep receivers that probably will never get in the game. But hey, he looked good. I just, you know, Skoranek, the old Rams receiver, looked good, but like I'm saying, all these players were so deep. The only thing that the backup quarterbacks I pulled from it, both backup quarterbacks look good. So if something happened to the starters, hey, you know. But anyway, the running game from the Bears looked good. So wow, just further muddied that though. We didn't really get too much out of that. So, let's look on and get started here as the players take the field. The subscribers look on. I want to welcome aboard Dave Grady, Jason Troppins, Tushar Ramesh, and Trev. Welcome aboard. Let's get started here. Let's look at some LA Charger news. All right, how about those wide receivers? We've got a new number 3 here, DJ Shark. All right, he replaces Quentin Johnston as the number 3 now. They're going to probably give up on that first round rookie or 2 years ago. Just hasn't really, I don't know they're giving up on him, but DJ Shark with that experience. I mean, hey, look at that experience. He's been around. Matter of fact, he's been to the Pro Bowl. Earned a Pro Bowl in 2019. Had 1,000 yards. Deep catches showing off his speed in practice. Moved ahead of Quentin Johnston, like I said. And I don't know they're going to give up on that Johnson, but hey, you know I have given up on him. So what about DJ Shark? So he moves into that number 3 spot on the depth chart, all right, for the Chargers. Now, Joshua Palmer. He got some news. He has been looking good. Last year, from the 3-week onward, he averaged 70 yards per game receiving. He's going to be one of the starters. You know, a knee injury and concussion led to some absences last year, and that was part of the problem. So, hey, you know, he's been looking good in practice again. You keep seeing the training camp notes. All right. How about Ladd McConkey? They got the rookie, exciting rookie, right? Been playing mostly out of the slot in practices and OTAs, training camp. All right. He's been stringing together multiple quality outings. He's going to play from the slot, so just don't know which one of those is going to catch fire. He was drafted second round, but that's early second round because they had an early pick there. So rookie there. So you had some changes there in the thing. So some running back news, right, for the Chargers. And it starts with J.K. Dobbins, right? J.K. Dobbins has been getting some first team reps and has appeared healthy. You know, he's looking good. And the important part of this is, and that's probably why they brought him in there, but is remember, Dobbins has experience under Greg Roman's offense, the new coordinator there, right? So, and so does Gus Edwards does as well, both time with Baltimore, right? So, J.K. Dobbins has been looking good. Gus Edwards has been getting first team reps in practice. He's been practicing there. They held him out early in the OTAs and stuff, and they both should adapt quickly to that Roman's offense coordinators, so they're both healthy. So that pushes this Vidal guy down the list some. Been working in the backups, 6th round pick, so we got to tap the brakes on him and probably maybe get ready for J.K. Dobbins to have, until he gets hurt, some impact on the Chargers run game. So, hey, got to keep that eye out. So that little depth change there, not really a depth change. I still got him in the same order, but some clarification on Dobbins. I can't wait for the preseason start game for them and see some of that. But it's out of the training camp. It sounds good. So, and then let's move on to Green Bay. I mean, everybody there. So, start with Romeo Doubs. All right, Romeo Doubs looking sharp at camp. Can't quit. They can't. I mean, that's the kind of the highlight. Who's been looking the best of all those wide receivers, right? Apparently, he's been looking really sharp. Jair Alexander's talking him up, going against him in all those practices and saying he's one of his favorites. I mean, Dobbs, now, hey, don't forget, late in 2 playoff games, Dobbs had 234 yards, was hot late. So, you're saying Dobbs, well, he's, look at those pretty good points there in all the games. Available. What's the best kind of ability? They said, what do we say? The availability. So, Christian Watt. Okay, Jaden Reed's been looking good too, right? 2nd round pick. All was good and healthy. He's nothing with that toe injury. Hey, all looks good with him. But so anyway, just further crowding that. But Dobbs looked good. You just don't know about this Christian Watson, and his drop rates. He had some drops when he plays. He's been hurt with those repeated hamstring and knee issues last year. I mean, when he's on the field, yeah, everything looks great, but a lot of injuries. They've been working his drop rates, went down last year from the year before when he played, but they saw a specialist to try to get that hamstring problem taken care of. One was 20% stronger than the other. But anyway, we'll see it when we see it. But hey, right now, I guess Jaden Reed. But hey, it's so, just like the others, it's so crowded. You just don't know what's going to happen there. So that's something with the Packers. But anyway, the news was Romeo Doubs looks good, further crowding that backfield. All right? Running back news. Hey, A.J. Dillon was as I read through the Packers notes, hey, he's been looking good in practice, right? So we're all assuming that Marshawn Lloyd here is going to take that job, and he will probably, from what I saw last year of him. But hey, Marshawn Lloyd will come on. Josh Jacobs, hey, I think, oh my gosh, that was some of the news too. Hurt again, missed practice with a groin. He missed earlier part of OTAs with a hamstring problem. So he's hurt. The other two are looking good. You worry about Josh Jacobs now. I mean, hey, it's a month to go. But hey, let's make sure all these little groin and hamstring issues are all soft tissue, they're calling them, taken care of before the season starts and getting him out there, because otherwise he'll drop down the rankings if he's not ready, right? And we got to keep an eye on that. But that was kind of troubling that he had to miss practice again, being a top 10 running back or close to that. Moving on, let's look at the Bengals. All right, news there. Well, I don't no direct news, I guess, really. But Chase Brown, right? Well, a lot of things coming out about him in camp and stuff. But hey, they moved him up to the 36th ranking now. Zach Moss is at 29. All right, so this is important because look, they're one of the third out of the AFC ranked to go to the Super Bowl. So these are going to be one of the best teams, Cincinnati here. Well, let's take a look there at that running back, to Chase Brown. They keep moving him up, but he has no real experience. Yeah, he's fast. All right, that's what, out of Illinois, a couple years now in the league, had a good game one time. But hey, I think, hey, with the difference in experience between him and Moss, the safer pick's Moss. But I tell you what, that's good. Get in there some of the mixing carries. He's going to now. I don't like the attitude of Zach Moss here saying, "Oh, I've been sharing time my whole life. I think I'm pretty good with it." Well, I like him saying, "I want the dang ball." But hey, of the two, I mean, I still love Zach Moss, but as they get closer and closer to the rankings here, you're like, well, wait a minute. Why would I take the unproven, 66th finish last year versus the 27th finish? Yeah, he got more action there, but hey, he's going to see more actions as a presumed number one. I love it. Every time they keep bumping this Chase Brown up, I want Zach Moss. So I'm excited for that to happen. And any good, positive news coming out. And I mean, hey, I'm not going to close my eyes to it, but I still prefer Zach Moss, and I love that. You're going to keep getting Zach Moss cheaper and cheaper. 14th position schedule there. You presume that Cincinnati's going to score some points. We'll see. So, the other big news right here is Deontay Foreman, right? We don't know that depth there with Nick Chubb injury, but hey, he had his own injury. They took him to the hospital and had a neck injury, mobilized him. It came out initially, it was serious, but now it doesn't sound as serious. Hopefully he's going to get back in there, and further muddy the waters there. But hey, he's had some good games, back in the day, several different teams, but that neck injury almost changed everything on a dime there, right? Because we're not sure of Chubb, but Jerome Ford, right? Oh my gosh, it almost just parted the seas for him, right? It just been like he had full run then. So got to keep watching the Cleveland. We don't, see what's going on there. And that neck injury, that almost changed that whole landscape. Because look at that, right? What do we love here? Well, we love that number 6th position schedule. First of all, they were one of the top scoring teams. One of the top ones to get points out of the running back teams. And hey, that 6th easiest schedule, we want a piece of that. So that Foreman would have been something that almost was a big game changer. Now, we'll see how great he is if they slow walk him. That just gives Jerome Ford that first 4 weeks, and that's what we're, if they put Chubb on the pup to start, this Jerome Ford's going to get the start, and boy, that's going to be, for a good team, he gets some good points first 4 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. How long is he going to be out? He's had good games. They got some good, that third game with the Giants at home, 29th schedule. Oh my gosh, he'll be scoring because Chubb won't be back by then, most likely. We'll see how it goes on. Heck, if he comes back, so that could be opening the door. Now, the reason this Foreman, he's lurking there, he could take some significant time. It could end up being him over Ford or their share. But hey, we want Ford getting as much of it as we can. All right, so another couple slight changes. On to Tampa, updating the wide receiver there. Number 3 is now Jalen McMillan. He takes over. Trey Palmer was previously listed third on the depth. I've got him number 3 now. In the Rams, Demarcus Robinson. I have this as a third. I'm not sure if I had him third before, but hey, in camp, he is the number 3 on track to take over Tutu Atwell. Now, they re-signed him 1 year. Pretty well after week 8, I think, last year, they started putting him as a 3. So, hey, he's already been there as a 3, but hey, because, hey, that's a potent offense. Team 7th in offense, 10th in passing. If something were to happen to those top 2, here's somebody with experience. So we mentioned him. I want to go back to Houston for a minute. Joe Mixon. Little quad injury. I don't know how much that is there. Big contract. Yeah, he's the big news there. Brought him in. Just see, but hey, you got to remember, they were the 22nd in rushing, Houston. More focused on the passing. So those scores, that fantasy 6th finish for Cincinnati, doesn't necessarily translate here. All right. And Damian Pierce here. Did we go over Cam Akers? Cam Akers got an appearance last night. So, looked pretty good, healthy. So, anyway, Joe Mixon with that quad. Let's move on to, we did DeMarcus Robinson. Oh, Kansas City. Well, I don't have Tony listed, but he is got another ankle injury. He's doesn't make the top 3. Vikings. I got Tonya. The tight end is hurt. We don't even have him listed. How about Ramondre Stevenson for New England here, if I can find New England? Got some news on him. I guess he's been the new Alex Van Pelt outside zone system fits his style. They've been talking him up a little bit. Some positive news articles coming out of him on that. I still, my policy, stay away from New England. I don't like the scoring. Team's not going to be too good. I don't know. One other news note here. We talked about DeAndre Hopkins here recently. Well, now he's going to be out for a while. 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. All right. So, the chances of him having a, great season like Mike Glenn or something is not as good. But Mike Evans. But anyway, that's some of the other notes. So if you're liking what you're seeing, please hit that like and subscribe button. Give me that subscribe. All right, I'm going to fill my short. I'm going to fill my Fantasy AI with some fantasy impact news. Ramondre Stevenson's good fit for that Alex Van Pelt zone system, they're saying, in camp. Looking good there. DeMarcus Robinson moves to the number 3 spot over Tutu Atwell on the wide receiver depth chart in Los Angeles. Joe Mixon, quad injury. Bears keep an eye on him. Jalen McMillan's the 3 in Tampa at wide receivers. Deontay Foreman, scary neck injury. Looks like he's going to be okay and still a factor in that Cleveland backfield. Chase Brown's getting some early hype. Camp news, they like him, but I like Zach Moss. Take him instead. Romeo Doubs getting some positive news out of camp. Alexander, the cornerback, says he's one of his favorite, tough to guard. Looking good there. DJ Shark takes over the number 3 spot over Quentin Johnston. They're in the Chargers. And Gus Edwards getting first team reps. Looking there, but the bigger surprise, J.K. Dobbins is healthy, getting first team reps. And that Greg Roman